Hey guys, this is Paul Ehrlich with Ehrlich Wheel Works here. This is an instructional video on how to do a test fitment for a set of wheels. This is not how to mount the wheels on the car. This is just the test fitment. So you want to start out by getting yourself some relatively flat ground. Make sure you find the proper jack point. Before you jack the car up, take your center caps off, crack your lugs loose. All right, once you have your lugs cracked loose, you can begin to jack the car up in the air. Don't get too far up. Once it's in the air, and the wheel's loose, you can begin to take it the rest of the way off the car. I think it's okay to use an impact to remove the lugs. I don't like to use an impact to tighten the lugs. I like to support the bottom of the wheel here when I'm taking this last lug out. When you take this wheel off, try to pull it kind of straight out off the car so you don't ding brake backing plates, calipers, or anything of that nature. Alright, these are the wheels that I'm going to test fit on the car today. So we are making sure that this inside of the wheel does not hit as it's going on. We also want to be very careful with the brake calipers. Make sure it does not make any contact going down or going on. So I will kind of get myself close to the car very slowly. And then I'll just feel with my hands to see if there's any obstructions on the inside. Seems like everything's gonna clear fine. And then I'm just gonna tighten a couple of these lugs by hand. Again, don't use an impact. Don't really ever use an impact to tighten your lugs onto your car. So I know I've got clearance here to my brake caliper. I'm happy with that. Again, make sure you got clearance everywhere before you start tightening these lug bolts. You don't want to tighten them down on your brake calipers. You don't want to tighten them down on your trailing arms or the insides of your suspension. I usually will put three lugs in for doing my test fitments. And then 2 blocks of wood. They can be shorter than this. They don't have to be this long. 2x6s will work. 2x4s will work. I've got a 2x6 and then a 2x4, but you can do 2 2x6s or 2 2x4s. Try to get it pretty close to where the seams meet if they're 3-piece wheels, or definitely get it in the drop center. And you're not going to be putting a ton of weight on this. Okay, so before you lower the car down, make sure you've got your lug nuts or lug bolts hand tightened. Make sure you're not hitting the calipers or anything else. If you're able to rotate the wheel, I can't. I've got the e-brake set now. That's something else that's quite important. Make sure you have the e-brake on. But I'm pretty confident I'm not gonna hit anything when I rotate the wheel. I wanna make sure the lugs don't bottom out and hit the brake backing plates or something like that in there, so I can drop the e-brake and rotate the wheel around to make sure it's all good. But I will give it a quick look before I lower the weight of the car down. I'm sticking out about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch here now. Now I'm going to begin to lower the car. Okay, now lower the weight of the car down as slow as you can. Make sure you let the jack all the way down. It's completely off the car. The wheel is completely resting on the 2x4s. Again, my e-brake is set, so it's not wanting to move around. But let it settle. If you've got progressive springs, then walk away from it for a 1/2 hour or something, come back here. This is what I'm looking at. I'm looking straight down the side of the car. And this is the finished product here. We got the wheels mounted to the car. When you're doing your test fitment, Just make sure your wheels aren't sticking out too far. Make sure they're not tucked in too far. Mine are perfectly flush with the quarters, which is what I was after. Some of you folks may want the wheel to be poking out. Some of you folks may want the wheel to be tucked in, but when you're doing your test fitment, you got your, your weight of the vehicle on the wheel. Just make sure the wheel is going to be sitting like you want it to sit.